Well, here's our garden in the fall time. Just about getting ready to harvest things. Here's the tomatoes. We had one night where it got down to about 4 degrees Celsius. So I had everything covered up just in case it was going to frost over, and it never did. But the time is coming where we're going to start getting frosts, and well, the coverings will have to happen. And I don't really have a whole lot that needs to be covered. The squash did really well, and it could practically be harvested at any point now. I'll probably cover, for the next maybe say month. Then after that, I'm just going to harvest everything. Well, here's the tomatoes. They did really well. They're pretty much loaded up. Lots of tomatoes in here. I'm picking them now for maybe 3 weeks. The squash did really well. Best year I've ever had for squash. You can see one there. It's really early morning, so it's a little bit dark yet. I'm guessing I have about 60 squash. Some of them are really good size. And the potatoes, well, they're all dying off, getting ready to be dug up. I already dug some up here. They did pretty good this year. Not overly big, but quite a few of them. More squash here. The squash just really did well this year. I'll show you some in here. There's a nice one there, and hard to see, but down in amongst there you can see them. There's 4 right here, about that size. Looks to be about 8-inch, 9-inch in diameter. And then here's some in pretty much everywhere I look. There's a squash. Just hard to see in the camera. And here's the fellow you've been hearing in the background. Do they ever love watermelon and apples? Just love it. Okay, so here's some more squash here. Where's that big fella? I'm not too sure what kind this is. I only planted one type, but not exactly sure what I have here growing, but we'll see. Almost looks like a Blue Hubbard, but I never planted any, so I'm not too sure how that became. Maybe a cross-pollinated seed, but wasn't any seeds that I had that were cross-pollinated, so I'm just not exactly sure. And here's another one. Here's my hand. It's pretty big. There's some squirrels over there making some noise. Another little one there. And there. Nice big leaves. Lots of squash. Everything related to the cabbage family pretty much got ate off by wild critters. So no cabbage family anything. I had some cabbage itself, and they didn't do good. We had a pretty warm summer, and I have a feeling that the heat just did them in. Lots of squash. Onions can't really show them to you, but they're doing good. They're in amongst that squash. They're about 1.5 inches, 2 inches in diameter. In amongst the onions. Here's a squash. You can see the onions in there. Garlic's all been harvested already. Garlic did really well. Really big. Almost looks like elephant garlic, but it's not. Zucchini, one plant, just keeps on giving. And they're really big too. And we've been eating piles of it. Gave some away. Pepper plants, they were pretty much loaded this year with peppers. And they're only little wee tiny plants, but peppers everywhere on them. Best year ever for peppers. Just everywhere I look is peppers. Now they're just a tiny plant, maybe 18 inches tall. But they're everywhere in here, peppers. Green peppers. Excuse me, folks. Potatoes, these are called finger potatoes. And they're still really green, green, green. And there's a horseradish plant. Really big. Did really well this year. This is the first year with this type of potato. I don't even really know how they did. But they're still very green. I'm not really sure why. I'm not familiar with this type of potato. They're basically long and skinny. So we'll find out here once they start dying off. I might have to help them die off, or the frost will do that. Actually, these ones here are grown in buckets. So it's going to be, I'm curious to find out how well they did. Oh, there's just so much green I can't even show the buckets to you. So thick in here. Beans did good this year. Not very good, but they did well enough. I never had them up on any kind of trellis or poles, but got lots of feeding from them. Well, thank you for watching, folks. Subscribe if you have not, and thank you very much for those that already have.